Hey guys, this is Chet here. If you're trying to decide between Certifier and Credly for your digital credentialing program, this video is going to give you a clear, honest comparison of both platforms so that you can make the right call for your specific situation. I've gone through both platforms and I've looked at everything from pricing to the recipient experience, and there are some pretty significant differences between the two. And I think a lot of people are not fully aware of before they sign up for either one. Before we get into it, I have a special offer, right? So if you're planning to sign up for Certifier, make sure to use that link in the description of this video. When you sign up through my link, you get an exclusive 10% discount on any paid plan. So check that link in the description before we dive in. Now, let me start with the most obvious difference between the two platforms, and that is price. Certifier starts at $0 per month, free forever, with no credit card required, no setup fees. You can start issuing credentials today without spending anything. Now, Credly, on the other hand, starts at $3,000 per year and charges a $5,000 setup fee on top of that. That means before you have issued a single credential on Credly, you are already looking at $8,000 just to get started. And Credly does not offer a free trial either, while Certifier does. For a small business, an independent course creator, or a training provider just getting started with digital certificates, that pricing difference is no small thing. It is a decision that could determine whether digital credentialing is even accessible to you at this stage. Beyond that starting price, the contract structure is also very different. Certifier operates on monthly billing with a 30-day money-back guarantee and a cancel anytime policy. Credly locks you into annual contracts only. So if you sign up for Credly and decide 3 months in that it's not working out for you, you're still paying for the rest of the year. That kind of lock-in makes a lot of people nervous, and I think reasonably so, especially when you're committing to a platform that you have not had a chance to properly test first. The other thing that surprised me when I looked at this comparison is the time to launch. Certifier says that you can go from signing up to issuing your first credential in 10 minutes. And from my experience using the platform, that claim is accurate. So Credly's setup time is listed at 2 to 4 weeks. That gap matters if you have a course completing, an event ending, or a training program wrapping up, and you need to get credentials out to people quickly. Now, let me talk about the white label experience, because this is one of the areas where the two platforms take pretty different approaches. With Certifier, your credentials are fully branded and hosted on your own custom domain. Your recipients see your organization's identity throughout the entire experience. With Credly, credentials are issued on Credly's platform with Credly's branding. So the credential your recipient receives has Credly's identity rather than yours sitting alongside it. For some organizations, that's fine. But for anyone who has put serious effort into building a brand and wants their credentialing to reflect that, the difference is meaningful. The recipient experience is another area I want to spend some time on because it affects engagement more than people realize. On Certifier, recipients get login-free access to their credentials through the issuer's private directory. They click the link in their email, land on the credential page, and can download, verify, and share without creating an account or logging into anything. On Credly, recipients are required to create an account just to access their credentials. That extra step creates friction, and friction reduces engagement. A recipient who has to stop and create an account before they can even view their certificate is a recipient who is less likely to share it on LinkedIn or show it to anyone else. On the credential types available, Certifier lets you issue both certificates and badges. Credly only offers badges. If your program involves both types of credentials, or if you want the flexibility to choose the format that best fits different achievements, Certifier covers that, and Credly does not. The design builder is another significant difference. Certifier has a visual drag and drop design builder that is SVG based, giving you full creative control over how your credentials look. You can customize fonts, layouts, colors, elements, and dynamic fields all within the editor. Credly does not have a visual design builder. The comparison table shows that feature with a clear cross on Credly's side. If the visual quality of your credentials matters to you, and I think for most professional organizations it does, this is worth factoring into your decision. Look at the rest of the feature comparison. There are several things Certifier offers that Credly does not currently have. Certifier has digital badge templates built in. Credly does not. Certifier offers QR code credentials. Credly does not. Certifier lets you update credentials post-issuance. So if you need to fix an error or change data after a credential has already been sent, you can do that directly in the platform. On Credly, that requires contacting support. Certifier also has credential expiration reminders built in, which is useful for programs with credentials that need to be renewed periodically. You probably guessed it. Credly does not have that feature either. On the SSO side, Certifier offers Okta, SAMLSSO, and Microsoft Entra ID. Credly does not currently offer SSO integration, according to the comparison data. For corporate teams and universities that manage user access through these systems, SSO or single sign-on support is often a requirement rather than a nice to have. Workspaces are another practical difference. Certifier lets you manage multiple issuers under one account, which is really useful for agencies, universities with multiple departments, or organizations running several distinct programs. And Credly, each issuer requires a separate account, which means separate billing and separate management for each one. The native integrations list on Certifier covers Google Sheets, Microsoft Excel, HubSpot, Salesforce, and SurveyMonkey, all connected directly without needing a third-party automation tool. On Credly, those native integrations are not available. So, stepping back from all of these individual features, the picture that emerges is two platforms that are targeting somewhat different types of users. Credly has been around for a long time and has built really good recognition, particularly in the professional certification and workforce development space, where established brand recognition on the platform itself carries weight. If you are issuing credentials in an environment where the Credly name is well known and valued by your recipients, that has substantial value. Certifier is a better fit if you want full control over your brand identity, if price accessibility matters to your decision, if you want to get up and running fast, or if you need to issue both certificates and badges. The free plan means that you can test it properly before spending anything. The monthly billing means that you're not locked into a long-term commitment, and the feature set around design, branding, and integrations is genuinely competitive for what most training providers, course creators, and corporate learning teams actually need day to day. The 40% stat that Certifier themselves publish is worth mentioning here too. According to their internal data, 4 in 10 organizations that switch to Certifier from other platforms come from Credly. That number tells you something real about how people feel after comparing the two options side by side and making a choice. My overall take is, if you are a smaller organization, an independent course creator, or a training provider who wants control over your brand and does not want to commit to $8,000 upfront to find out if a platform even works for you, Certifier is the stronger option based on what both platforms currently offer. If you are a large enterprise where Credly's established market presence is a meaningful factor in your decision and budget is not a barrier, that context changes the equation. But if you're watching this video and you're not already deep into a Credly contract, the comparison is pretty clear on most of the points that matter for day-to-day credentialing operations. If you want to try Certifier for yourself, the link in the description is the best way to get started. When you sign up through that link, you get an exclusive 10% discount on any paid plan, and you can start on the free plan first to see how the platform works before you commit to anything. Go check out that link in the description. And if this comparison video helped you make your decision, make sure that you like and subscribe, because there's a lot more content like this coming. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video.